Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison's your new best friend.
Hey everyone, hi, hello, welcome to another exciting episode of Alison Rosen is your new best friend. I'm sitting here in my studio with my husband Daniel. Hello.
Hello.
And also our dog Wendy.
Ruff. Ruff, ruff.
I felt like it was time she got a voice on the show. Anyway, did I say welcome to another exciting episode of Alison Rosen is your new best friend?
Your tone implied it. I think you said it. I
think I did too.
Wasn't really listening.
You know what happened to me as I was talking? All of a sudden I was like, I'm not enunciating at all. And then I decided to really enunciate. And then I was like, I wonder if they'll notice how much I'm enunciating. I don't want to like over enunciate.
I'm sure they noticed.
Or I wonder if they noticed that I was under enunciating at the beginning. I felt like I was a real like, Eliza Doolittle at the beginning of My Fair Lady.
I don't.
Do you know, I don't know what her name is at the beginning of Pygmalion, which
Sure, of course I don't.
I wonder if it was Eliza Doolittle in that too.
Probably.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Musicals?
One of them is, yes. Do you know which one?
My Fair Lady and Pygmalion.
Yes. We had tickets to see My Fair Lady.
Oh, yeah.
Right before, we were going to go see it right before
and then I was saved by COVID.
Shutdown. Yeah, I know. So anyway, do you know the basic plot?
Isn't it Taming of the Shrew?
I don't think so.
Oh, it was a wild guess.
You said so. Is that a no?
Doesn't it imply that it might be, though? My Fair Lady, like she isn't and then she becomes fair or something like that?
Wait a minute. What is Taming of the Shrew about? That's one I haven't seen.
Isn't it about like...
That's Kiss Me Kate. You're thinking of Taming of the Shrew and Kiss Me Kate.
I am not thinking of Kiss Me Kate.
Kiss Me Kate is a retelling of Taming of the Shrew in the same way
Of course, there's probably multiple tamings of the shrews.
Nope. Just one shrew, one taming that is also in Kiss Me Kate.
You know that 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, yeah.
It's the rhythm, the taming of the shrew, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Look, I have to go poo. Is also that. I don't have to actually, but I'm just saying like a lot of things are that.
A Smurf's dick is blue. And I think that was the original title. And then the studio was like, this will be hard to market.
Yeah. So wait, that's also Taming of the Shrew?
Yeah.
Well, that's not My Fair Lady.
10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah.
It's not.
Okay.
It's different.
So you do know the plot or you don't know the plot?
I have no clue. Not a single one.
Okay. So there's this rough woman, Eliza Doolittle, and she sounds like this. Eliza Doolittle!
Oh.
She speaks Cockney.
Eliza Doolittle,
yeah.
governor.
Yes, like that. Now, I can't remember if there's a bet a la Trading Places to see if they can like turn her into a lady.
That's Taming of the Shrew, isn't it?
Didn't we have this? I don't think so. You know what? I'll look it up in a minute. But anyway, so she's just a rough English lass. And
I knew it was turning someone into a lady, though.
Yeah, well, they want
it's like, you're not going to call it My Fair Lady, and then it's just about some fair lady. Come on.
Also you, Henry Higgins. Right. So Henry Higgins is...
is it Henry Higgins?
Yes. Henry Higgins. My ear is doing that thing that distracts me and that no one else can tell it's doing, but I have to mention because anyway. So he is going to turn her into a lady. Okay. And part of it is proper elocution. So she's speaking like with a mouth of marsh. He puts up a... Blah, blah, blah.
Like you.
For me, it's Invisalign. For her, it was marbles. Marbles in her mouth, and then has her pronounce all these things.
With the marbles in her mouth.
Yes, and at the end, they fall in love.
What a delightful...
Isn't that so cute?
Now look up Taming of the Shrew.
Okay. What is the story of the Taming of the Shrew about? The ballad tells the story of a marriage in which the husband must tame his headstrong wife. Like Shrew... What is there? So there's something just called Shrew. The story features a family with 2 sisters, the younger of whom is seen as mild and desirable. It's really not the same at all. Okay, and now I'll look up My Fair Lady.
It could be that my understanding of Taming the Shrew is off.
Well,
I thought that's what it was, though. It was like she's, uncouth.
Well, is he like teaching her how to be a lady?
Well, whatever the 17th century version of that is.
I mean, okay. Let me find plot.
Is it 17th or 18th century?
In London, Professor Henry Higgins, a scholar of phonetics, believes that the accent and tone of one's voice determines a person's prospects in society. At the Covent Garden fruit and vegetable market one evening, he meets Colonel Hugh Pickering, himself a phonetics expert, who has come from India to see him. Higgins boasts he could teach even Eliza Doolittle, the young flower seller woman with a strong Cockney accent, to speak so well he could pass her off as a duchess at an embassy ball. So it is like Trading Places. It's like rich people treating poor people like they're pawns.
What's the famous song from this one?
Wouldn't It Be Loverly?
I mean,
that is one of the songs.
I'm not going to sit here and say that,
Just you wait.
that COVID was a blessing.
Oh, the rain in Spain.
I'm not going to say that it was a good thing. But
hang on.
It wasn't
wait till
the
you hear
worst.
Here we go.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait. You'll be sorry, but your tears'll be too late. You'll be broke and all have money. Will I help you, damn be funny? Just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait. Just you wait, Henry Higgins, till you're sick. And you screams to fetch a doctor.
Okay, let's see what else we have.
You know what I like about that song?
What?
It reminds me of a different thing.
And what's that?
That I do like.
What is that?
Sweeney Todd.
Oh.
I had that song, The Rain in Spain, in my head just days ago.
Really?
And
now we're
was thinking
about it.
how much I hate that song.
I know it's not a good one, which is why we have to hear it.
Oh no!
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
I can't. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
For God's sake, Higgins, it must be 3 o'clock in the morning. Do be reasonable.
I am always reasonable. Eliza.
Even they're bored.
They are. They're so tired of this.
Did you hear that sigh? That was like a 5-second
They're all
sigh.
like holding hot water bottles over their head. They're really tired because it's 2 or 3 in the morning or whatever.
I know your headaches.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on to something that is so interesting. It is like going to electrocute you with
Isn't it the end of the show already? Didn't that take an hour?
Mm-hmm. I was just going to sit back and let it play, and then I was like, wait a minute. You're hosting a show.
Spain falls mainly on the plains.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that part. Let's just get to the good part.
The plains are plainly
in Spain.
Is this her getting her diction right?
Mm-hmm. She just got it.
In the plain.
What was that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
By George,
Pick up
you
the
got
pace.
it. Well, it's a dramatic moment. I mean, she's stunned.
Rain.
All those fucking marbles.
Because she
made a
couldn't
difference.
say these words.
No, I don't know what she sounded like at the beginning.
In the plain.
Okay, let's. Do they have 2?
Well, how did she say it before?
Well, I know that's important. Hang on. I just want to.
Just.
Okay, let's hear how she said it. How did she say it at the beginning? Oops, I muted it. I don't know how she said it. It's going to take too long to see. So anyway, let's...
Yeah, I don't do that to me again.
It's not just you I did it to. It's the entire audience.
No, I'm channeling their frustration.
3/4 of which are no longer listening. Guys, don't give up on me. I've had a rough week. Anyway, and I'll get to my rough week. But
Okay.
Daniel, here I have a topic. Wrote it down on this piece of paper.
Unbelievable.
It's so exciting
Is this something I know about already?
You're
Or are
going
you
to
springing it on me?
shoot.
Are you springing it on me?
If you think about it, you would know it because I hinted at it before we started. It is so exciting. You're going to sit right up. You're going to say howdy, and you're going to shoot out of the chair, and you're going to bang your head on the ceiling.
Okay, so I know for sure this will not be interesting.
Why do you doubt me so much?
I just know you well enough.
You're going to sit up
Yeah.
tall.
Are we going to talk about celery or something?
No, we're going to talk about what the word stuffy means as it
Yes.
relates to the room. Okay, because you walked in here and you said it's stuffy in here and you wanted to open up the windows. And I flashed back to Jeff Fox saying it felt stuffy in here too.
Right.
Now, what is the difference between stuffy and just hot? Because you said, don't you know what stale air feels like? And I said, no. Have you ever walked into a room that's hot and not thought it feels stuffy? I mean, I guess if you're in Palm Springs outside.
Yeah.
Is that the
Hot
difference?
and not stuffy.
When?
I have to check my calendar. I think I wrote it down. Wait, I did note it because I was like, today, this.
What is it? I cannot, other than like being in the bed with my heat pad on, I don't find that stuffy. I don't understand the difference between walking into a room and it being hot and walking into a room and it being stuffy.
Okay.
Well, I would
That
like
sounds
to.
like a you problem.
I would like to understand.
I don't know that I can explain it. So.
But you're
That's
sure
fine.
that's real?
I mean, I think it's real. There's a qualitative difference in my mind.
Can you imagine?
I don't know what causes it. I couldn't tell you
What
why.
is the difference? What is the qualitative difference?
I don't know that I can describe it. It's like a I don't know if it's a smell or if it's a
Now we're getting somewhere.
if it's just there's a lack of enough. Maybe it's like a lack of enough oxygen in the air or something. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but it just, yeah. It's not like when you go outside and you get that fresh air and you take a deep breath, it's a whole different thing, even if it's hot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking about an indoor room, which is always what a room is.
But if it's an indoor room that's getting circulation and it's hot, it's going to be different than an indoor room that it doesn't have circulation and is hot.
I see. Excuse me. So it has to do with feeling like the movement of air, like a waft. You could get a hot waft.
No, you don't have to feel the movement of the air.
I think you do.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Tell me what I feel. I'll just
Go
sit
ahead,
back. I'll just sit back and you can tell me. I tell you what. Ask your question and then answer for me. That's cool.
I am this close to trying to find out how she sounded when she said the rain in Spain at the beginning, before her elocution lessons.
Why don't you do it and tighten it up so we don't have to wait for you to find it?
Okay, great. Tony, tighten this up.
I know you're tired. I know you can.
You know what I just realized?
God, these long pauses.
You know what I just realized? We're not going to find it because this song starts with them having done the rain in Spain like over and over and over. And now this is why they're all like tired. And one of them has a hot water bottle on his head and she has a headache. And the other one's like sleeping under a newspaper.
So he's a lost cause until.
Right. So this clip is not going to show what we're looking for.
Yeah. Listen, it was a different time, my fair lady.
It was 1964.
Right.
But also, took place before then.
It's so weird how like so much cultural product from that period feels naive, but they weren't. You know what I mean? Like you look back on it and it just seems so like childlike.
Well, it was actually so Pygmalion was written by George Bernard Shaw in I want to say the 1800s, but I could be wrong. Let's look that up.
Why are we talking about that?
Let's see here. Pygmalion, play by George Bernard Shaw. I'm looking for a year, 1913. So I'm wrong. God, now I know what
What
you
does that
feel
have
like
to
all
do
the
with the
time.
other thing?
You said it was a simpler time.
No,
You
I
said
said
it
so
feels
much.
like-
So many things feel simpler.
when it's like but actually it was 1913 is the actual the story that it's based on is from 1913, and so it's not like this from the 60s.
I'm just talking about the play that I just heard. I don't know about the content. The book might be different. The book might have more layers to it. Maybe this even has more layers to it. I'm just saying, like, there's a feeling of just like this kind of corniness, and it really like. But you go, all these people survived World War II. You know, all these adults who were making this shit,
Right.
so they weren't sheltered, naive people.
Mm-hmm.
But they're making product that feels sheltered and naive. It's like the whole period is defined by this, like, we're just going to put this like plastic. That's probably what the reaction by the boomers was. But like, this is all bullshit, fake. We're going to make shit that's real. And that's why you get like, you know, the late 60s, 70s happen.
Right.
Because it's like, fuck that shit. But like, it's just so weird to hear it because it's just like,
Well,
good
musicals
Lord.
especially have a real quaint quality.
I know, like you think about something like Oklahoma, where it's just
God.
look at the fucking crow circling in the air.
So we went to see Oklahoma. My parents took my sister and me to see Oklahoma. We were teenagers,
right?
And we were so bored.
It's so boring.
Yeah, and this is like a thing that was my sister and I brought this up all the time in our family. My parents blamed it on us being from the MTV generation. We did not ever let them live that one down. I walked out
Are
of
we still the MTV generation?
I think so. But I'm not proud of this. But I walked out of Annie Get Your Gun at intermission. I don't know why. I cannot remember why I had a single ticket to Annie Get Your Gun, but I was just like, I can't with you.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of one single musical pre-West Side Story that I like. You know, there's songs. I mean, there's songs here and there. I'm not going to say it's all bad, but like I kind of can't get with musicals until Sondheim and this sort of change happens.
Is West Side Story Sondheim?
He did lyrics. He wrote the lyrics.
We saw West Side Story, and I was not dazzled by that. Although, thank you for taking me.
I feel like the lead wasn't.
You could probably. Can you do like a stage whisper?
I'm sure he was a really nice guy. I just think that the vocals.
Do you think he listens?
The vocals weren't there, so it was.
Yeah.
It's like, and you know, it's not like a perfect musical. But at least there's like meat on the bone with that one. You know, there's lots of great songs.
You're a jet.
Well, there's lots of great catchy tunes, and there's like a story that's kind of dark, and it's got some thoughts. You know, it's got some things happening.
My Fair Lady has some things happening. It is a trenchant
I feel like
critique of genteel culture.
The rebut to what I'm saying, I think, would be that because of the Hays Code and all of that, there was this whitewashing, not racially, but just making everything, taking all of that stuff out. I understand why it happened. Yeah, and that it's all there though. And some people who love it are like, no, but you need to see how it was that these screenwriters and directors and actors were putting that in there without it being in very subtle ways.
Right.
And I can appreciate that, but it just still feels like,
you know, what's
corny.
interesting.
It feels corny.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about the Hays Code? Growing up watching old movies, I thought men and women who were married slept in two twin beds. Like, I didn't realize that was
the
just
fucking
the thing.
dream, by the way.
But not the twin. Even just by yourself, you'd get. We need two king beds.
I don't need a king. I need a. I could do a queen.
Two queens. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like,
I have a question.
Maybe separate houses, even.
I have a question,
what
mister.
about that?
Listen, dickhead. Why do you want a separate bed from me? I know I want a separate bed from you. You snore. But what's your issue with me?
I didn't say it had to do with sleeping.
What?
I'm saying maybe a separate residences.
No, but I just want to like rewind to where you just wanted your separate queen bed in the same room as me.
It honestly, well, because I was joking. The truth is that it doesn't. It wouldn't affect me one way or the other because as soon as I fall asleep, that's it. The only thing that wakes me up in the middle of the night is our son.
Did you say one way or the other?
Don't with me.
Because this is the second time you said it. I always thought it was one way or another. But you've now twice said one way or the other.
That's how I've always said it that way. The meaning is the same.
Our son, Elliot, says Valentine's. And we actually corrected him in a nice way. And he has reverted back to Valentine's. And I'm okay with that.
Is it supposed to be one way or the other or one way or another?
Well, I always assumed it was one way or another, but now you're beginning to make me question it in the same way that I learned that the phrase card shark is actually card sharp. It's supposed to be card sharp.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
wait, so someone is a card sharp?
Yeah.
So what does sharp mean?
Like it means the same thing.
They are a sharp, like as a noun?
Yeah, you're sharp at cards. I guess I don't know.
No, but that's not a noun. You can be sharp, but you can't be a sharp.
Don't make me Google more. And then also, if you think that, you've got another think coming. Think. It's supposed to be you have another think coming.
Well, yeah.
These have changed.
That was interesting.
But card sharp is the same. Like, it is now accepted to say card sharp.
Well, is it like think coming where it was a word people used to use that fell out of use?
Oh, I don't know.
People used to say have a think.
Have a think on it, yeah.
And so that made sense. No one says that anymore, so now they think it's you have another thing coming.
No, they think it's you never have another thing coming.
Huh? But
I was thinking a joke, but then extra syllables crept in.
But the card sharp was a sharp something that now no one knows what the fuck that means, and so they just...
All right, fine.
They go to shark?
Card sharp.
If you're going to be throwing this stuff into the ring, you've got to be able to...
Card sharp is a person who cheats at cards in order to win money. Which is correct? Card shark or card sharp? Card sharp is correct, but seeing it spelled card...
what about card shart? Is that correct?
That is correct. That has become correct. Listen, I don't know. Okay?
What is a sharp?
It's a needle. That's what you want me to Google? What is a sharp?
Sharp is a noun.
Oh, what is a sharp in betting?
Yeah.
A sharp is someone who knows what they are doing in sports betting.
There, thank you.
So it's like a hustler.
Okay, so that's just a word I've never heard before.
A ringer. Yeah. Sharps are informed, experienced, successful sports bettors. They might be professional bettors, but that doesn't have to be the case. Often sharps place bigger bets. Interesting. I'm like a podcasting sharp.
Yes, you are.
But some might think they're saying podcasting shark. And then they're like, yeah, like a cunt. And it's like, shut the fuck up.
I know those assholes. And welcome to the Sharp Tank. Right?
Sharps, I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah. So listen, we got some stuff.
All right.
I have a quick just mirror, everyone. We have a lot of calls. And I have a riddle / brain teaser to run by you. And I don't know if it's a good one or not. I think it's not.
Probably not.
Because I saw it online last night, and then people in the comments were kind of like, this sucks.
This sucks. Yeah, that's
but it's still
definitely worth talking about then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk about what you want to
Has
talk
anything
about.
happened since the last time we've been on this show together that we could talk about? When was the last time we did this?
Go ahead to get a root canal.
You had to get a root canal?
Yeah.
No, they don't. Do they know that you basically were in crazy historic amounts of pain for like 4 straight days?
It was more than it's been on and off for a month, actually, 2 months actually.
Yeah, it was wild.
But then it got really bad for about 4 days. Now, when you say historic, what do you mean? Like the most
in the
pain
history of you.
Oh. Okay, so you're making it. So you're censoring me because I want it to be. I'm kind of joking.
You center yourself, and I'm just going along with it.
I want it to be in the history of anyone experiencing anything.
Well, it certainly qualifies from your category, from the Alison Rosen category. Here's your entry.
You know, it's funny. I was on TikTok the other day, and I was in some comments, not fighting with anyone. And it was about like the pain of labor. And then someone was saying in the comments, like, this is freaking me out. I'm giving birth in, 2 weeks or something. And then people were kind of trying to talk her down. And someone said, honestly, a toothache is worse. And I like chimed in to say, yes, I have given birth twice. And still the worst pain I've ever felt was a toothache. And that was before.
Hear that, fellas? Don't let them fucking pull the wool over your eyes. They try to get all kinds of sympathy, and then the truth comes out later. It wasn't that bad. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway. Yeah, I was having some pain on the right side of my face, like, been kind of for a couple months. And I assumed it was the Invisalign because when I would take the bottom tray out, if I left it out for too long, then I would begin to feel it, which doesn't really make sense. But I was like, my teeth must be, freaking out or whatever. And then my orthodontist did a panoramic x-ray. By the way, when other people talk, oh my God, something just went into my eye.
How? You have your glasses on. It's probably a hair.
When anyone else talks about anything involving dental matters, not only do I find it boring, I almost feel like personally attacked. Like, don't do this to me.
I agree. So go on about your dental matters, please.
Uh-oh. The situation with my eye, I don't know. Okay, we're going to have to pause. Okay, I'm back. Tony, insert a drum roll for everyone to find out what was going on in my eye. Daniel?
Yes.
Are you ready to know what was in my eye?
Tell me.
It was an eyelash.
You were like, I think it was a bug. I was like, it was an eyelash. You're like, I think it was a bug.
That sounds exactly like me.
Well, you got it, though.
Yeah, I did. You know why? Because I have that. I asked you to install that magnifying mirror in the bathroom, like the kind they have in a hotel. Mm-hmm. I use it like 600 times every single day. Mm-hmm. I cannot recommend it highly enough. I have that mirror in my Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen. If you go there, you'll see there's like different lists or categories or whatever. And I think I forget which one it's in. You'll find it. It's one of the first ones. But also all the product picks from guests, which is now like there's a really nice bundle of stuff, of recommendations from guests.
I just bought the e-cloth.
Yeah, that Todd Cooper.
Yeah, I think it was Todd.
Cooper sounded wrong for a second. Anyway, as I was saying, the story within the story or the tangent beyond the meta tangent.
You were about to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think I'm done podcasting, guys.
You're going to wrap up this story, right?
No, I was just beginning to tell a story that I already don't think I should tell.
It turned out it was...
No, don't you? No.
It turned out that is the beginning of the sentence.
Oh, it turned out that I forgot to tell you what happened at the very beginning. It turned out that... Let me back up. So yeah, when other people tell me dental stories, I'm like, no. So I feel chagrined that when I had to get 2 crowns, sorry guys, 8 years ago or something, 6 years ago, I told that whole saga on the show. Yeah. And then I was asked to be the guest monologist. You know what that is? Mm-hmm. Do you know it based on your ability to figure out what words mean?
Yes.
At Pretty Pretty Pony, which is an improv group featuring a bunch of people, including Janet Varney. And they asked me to be the guest monologist, which is basically you just tell a story off the top of your head. So I told a story about having to get the story of the crowns, which I hope I inserted some like lighthearted bits, but like, oh my God, lady, give it up and shut up is how I feel about myself. That being said, they did ask me back like a handful of times, and I was unavailable each time, to the point where they stopped asking me back because it's like I feel bad about that. But anyway, so I guess they must not have been like, oh my God, all she talks about is her teeth.
Anyway, so it turned out that
that happened like 6 years ago. But pain on and off. The orthodontist took a panoramic X-ray. Oh God,
we really are at the beginning of the story. Oh my God. We don't need to know about the X-rays, hon.
Well, oh no, you know what? You're right. You know what? There's a book.
Yes.
A story by Borges. Do you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
About a man who cannot synthesize. He remembers everything.
Oh, okay.
He remembers every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, my mom does not remember every single thing, but when she tells a story, she tells it in real time.
So he was like, what's her name from Taxi?
Yes, Mary Lou Henner.
Mary Lou Henner.
Sometimes I fear that I, too, give so many fucking details, and it's like, just synthesize.
Do you want to know what I think?
Yeah.
I just think you have a hard time recognizing what's interesting about a story. So you just you just figure I will cover all the ground, and the interesting parts will be there.
Oh my God, this is what I do with so much.
Mm-hmm.
So much of my stuff is like, here's an excessive amount of this thing. You pull the wheat from the chaff.
Mm-hmm.
It's real lazy.
I would call it undisciplined, but yes.
But here's the best part of this. There's actually not any interesting parts in it.
No, I bet you I could find some interesting parts.
Can you punch this up? But I think what it is, if I were to actually, what I'm saying is, what was modeled for me in the house I grew up in. You know my mom.
Oh, you're talking about origins now.
The origin of why I am this way.
Okay.
I try to synthesize. I try to get to the point.
But the problem is you didn't have this modeled for you.
I've never seen it done.
Yeah, never seen it done.
I've literally never
was your dad
seen it
not
done.
a good raconteur?
No, he was.
He was. I feel like to the extent that you're good at this, maybe that's where it comes from. No disrespect to your mother, but I think your dad was the storyteller.
Well, this one goes out to my mom. This is more the kind of story she would tell. I'm going to get there. Anyway, I thought perhaps I was like, this is not coming from my tooth.
You had
the pain was so bad.
Wait. So because I'm sure nobody has any clue what you're talking about anymore. You had this pain. You went to the orthodontist. They found nothing.
They said it was nothing. Yeah, they said it was nothing. They didn't see anything. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then it started getting better, and then it started getting worse again. Now, this is when I was putting water bottles in the freezer and then holding them against my face and like trying all these different things. I took lidocaine cream and rubbed it on the outside of my face.
You couldn't identify exactly where it was coming from?
It was in my cheekbone. It was in my jaw, and it was like
shooting
around
up to
my
the
eye.
eyes.
Yeah, not less in my eye, but it was so intense. I couldn't really. I was like felt like a 9 or 10 on that pain chart of the different faces.
And I kept thinking, sounds like a root canal.
Yeah, it really does. And having experienced the pain that precedes a root canal,
yes,
I was like, that's what this feels like. But at this point, it was moving all around. Like it wasn't in my teeth. That's what was so weird. So I was like, I made an appointment with a neurologist.
Well, you looked up online and found something that you thought it was.
Trigeminal neuralgia, also called the suicide disease, because it's so bad.
Right.
So I made an appointment with a neurologist, and then miraculously it did settle like in one tooth. And I'm like, okay, I can cancel that appointment. It's clearly a tooth thing. So I called the guys, don't give up on me. I'm so sorry. I'll never do this again to you. I called the dentist. I'll just do it to Daniel. Remember the dentist that did these 2 crowns from the original story? So for anyone who's been following me for a long time, this is the genesis of the drop. I miss my tooth peaks. This is that guy. And I did not have a great feeling.
Full circle.
Yeah, I didn't have a great feeling about him, to be honest. And I can go into the details, but as a gift,
Please
I won't.
Yeah.
But
that's like your reverse Patreon. Yeah. You'll hear that on the place where you get punished.
Yeah. Patreon hell.
Like, it's like for people who are haters who or, you know, have somehow done something wrong.
So he's in Burbank, and I'm like, it's so close. I am not, right now I go to a dentist in Orange County. I'm not going to drive to Orange County to find out. It's not my, so anyway, called him over the weekend. I came in, they were able to get me in at 9 a.m. on Monday, took an x-ray. It is your tooth. You need a root canal. And he had a cancellation that morning. So I was like, let's just do it.
And boom.
Because that's the thing about this kind of discomfort. If they were like...
The discomfort of hearing the story?
Yeah. If they were like, we need to take the tooth out and also take off your arm, I'd be like, let's just do it. Let's just get it underway.
For anyone who's had like that kind of intense, never-ending pain, you get like how people want to just euthanize themselves. It's just all you can think about. It's the only thing that made it go away was holding a hot something on my face, or continuously having a mouthful of water in my mouth and swishing it around. Well, but anyway, I'm all better now. I'm glad you did it.
Yeah.
Took care of it. Anyway, that happened.
Yeah. That happened. Let's listen to a call.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alison and Daniel, this is Jason from Edmonds, Washington, just north of Seattle. Favorite smell?
Oh, yeah. So I put out a different call for topics, a different topic. I'm going to sneeze. I might sneeze. But there were some that we didn't get to last time. Sure. So hence this one on favorite and least favorite smells.
And surprising smell. Every time I pass a dead skunk and smell that skunk smell, maybe it's not dead even, but
yeah, I'm gonna say that's a live skunk.
No, a dead skunk will have the smell too.
Now, why is that?
Well, it's not like the chemical only is produced while they're alive. It's if they die, it'll release. It'll be in their body still.
Right, but like, let's say a skunk just walks through the yard. You're not going to smell it, right? Skunks,
no, you will.
You will. I thought the smell is when they spray it.
Well, it's more intense when they spray it.
Are you a skunkologist?
No, but there are skunks in L.A. You can smell them. You can smell when a skunk is nearby.
I think that's because they've sprayed.
No.
All right.
I smell the skunk smell. I just love it. I think it's because I grew up kind of in a farm town, and it just reminds me of home. It's kind of weird. So other people in the car are often wincing, and I'm just delighted. So that's my favorite. One of my favorite. I don't know about least. I guess
my least favorite is flowers.
Least, but that's all I got. Again, Jason Edmonds, north of Seattle. Quant's Method out.
Nice.
Was that just a shout out for Quant's Method, or
no? He's
saying the name sandwich. It's the name sandwich. But the Quant's Method you're right. I'm sorry. That was a Quant's. I think I suffered brain damage from the pain because I don't think I bounced back fully.
No, you haven't. Yeah, that's interesting. When bad smells, you have like good associations with them.
My dad really liked the smell of gas stations.
Yeah, gasoline. Yeah, that's one of those.
Not
I get it. Like the smell of paint and paint thinner, I kind of like to get high. What else? What other bad smells smell good to you?
I mean, occasionally your own fart is kind of like...
No, but that's different. You can't say farts because you don't like... It's only your own fart.
You're
but
right.
Qualitatively, your fart is no different. I mean, yours are different, but like, a fart is a fart.
No, it's not a rose by any other name.
Anyway.
Every fart is a snowflake.
Hi, Alison and Daniel. This is Elise calling from Melbourne, Florida. We recently moved here from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and a huge change. I realized yesterday I was talking to my husband, and I had this epiphany where I feel like I'm constantly in a room with people who all feel the same way, but I don't feel that way. And that is very Florida to me. That's just how it feels here. Everybody has very strong opinions, and to me, they are wrong. So that's how it's going. Favorite smell? Probably fresh baked bread
A popular
or
one.
like any food
pretty
cooking. I like food. And or smell cat pee, like 100% cat pee. All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Cat pee is intense.
Yeah.
And
I don't
cat
love it.
shit.
I don't love the smell of urine of any sort. I don't like it. You know that smell if you're in
It's
a like
ammonia,
a
I think.
in a elevator, public elevator downtown, and you're like, oh, this drunk people peed in this elevator.
Mm.
I don't like that smell either.
Do you love the smell of an outhouse, perhaps? Or even an airplane bathroom always has a urine scent.
No, I hate all of those smells, of course.
Now, do you think airplane bathrooms are so messy because of turbulence or just because people are just like, what's wrong with
People
them?
are messy.
In general.
Yeah, after a couple hours when people have used it, it's not like they have maids going in there and cleaning it up every hour, you know.
This is true.
But wait, moving to Florida, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, we're going to need more. We're going to need to
And
know
where
why.
in Florida?
Why? She said Melbourne or
I don't know where that is.
I don't either.
Look
We're
it
going to
up.
need to know why you moved to a place where everyone has an opinion that you think is wrong.
Florida's, I would say the move from Minneapolis to Florida, like Minneapolis summers are very humid.
Stuffy.
Yeah. They're really like hot and humid. And so it's kind of a lateral move on that ground to Florida, but like the culture in Florida, I mean, is I just
Florida is considered like a beautiful vacation destination for many people, or it was for
I think
a time.
that's an East Coast feeling.
Totally.
I think if you've been to the West Coast, you're disabused.
Like, remember when my dad didn't want us to go to Hawaii because it's a long story, and he suggested maybe Florida.
I have spent a lot of time in Florida. Too much time, many would say.
Where?
Well, my cousins were from Panama City, where I went there when I was young, and then my grandparents retired from Philadelphia to Palm Coast, which is near Flagler, south of like Jacksonville, near whatever.
I feel like you're trying to impress me with Florida names.
Daytona. No, I'm trying to orient to anyone who's in Florida who might know the area because they might not know Palm Coast.
I don't know anything.
Flagler. That's where Ariana Madix is from.
Really?
Yeah. And so I spent a lot of time there. You know, uncle from Miami. I have another uncle who lived in Jacksonville. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Lots of family down there.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
You're indigenous to Florida.
No, God, no.
Hi, Alison. This is Susie calling from the D.C. area. I'm stopping the pod and leaving a message because I'm driving and I can't type. But I'm listening to the Thursday show. Today's Thursday. And you guys are talking about the roasted pig. And I don't remember if it was a thing, but a friend of mine who lives in College Park, Maryland, has a neighbor, he's still there.
So for anyone who doesn't know, on the Thursday show, I was saying, do you guys remember when like having a pig roast was a thing that everyone was doing?
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed that no one remembered.
Who's a caterer, and he invited us to what he called a pig pickin', where he roasted or barbecued a whole pig, a big, not an enormous pig, but significantly large, and the whole block was invited to come and pick meat off the pig and enjoy it with, potato salads and other things like this. It was weird.
Yeah.
He called it annual, but I was not invited back for another one. It wasn't my neighbor, so maybe my friend was, but very strange. Anyway, love the show. Again, Susie from the D.C. area. Take care. Bye.
I can't eat pork.
Thank you, Susie.
I pretty much cut that out a few years ago. I won't eat pork. I don't know. It's just, we all have that line in our heads where you kind of go, I can eat this, I can't eat that. And that's just, I can't. I like pigs too much.
I follow a lot of cute cows online.
I know.
Have you seen Highland cows? They're like fluffy and
yes,
they're
I know.
really cute.
I do.
They're really cute.
It's tough. Cows are getting tough too, although beef, it's a tough one to give up.
Alison and Daniel. This is Josh, the respiratory therapist from Central California. And I just wanted to call and tell you guys I appreciate you guys. Currently dealing with a shingles flare-up.
He sounds like he'll appreciate my my valiant story of tooth pain, because shingles is supposed to be pretty gnarly.
Shingles is really painful.
At 38 years old, and it's 11:41 p.m. here, and I can't sleep because it is uncomfortable. Beside that, I wanted to say pushing the Patreon and less ads is pretty effective, because
it makes it sound like I did this like by design. I said to you know what? I said to my ad people, I said, guys, do no more ads, no more. I just want people to support me directly on Patreon. So I know I know there's a lot of ads I could have right now. Turn them away.
Yeah. Bud Light, no thanks.
No, thank you.
I am this close to becoming a patron.
Do it.
I can't think of any brain teasers or riddles. Just wanted to call and tell you guys I appreciate you and thank you for all the laughs. I've been listening since the Corolla days. And that's it. Josh from Central California.
Even in the midst of his shingulation, he did the name sandwich.
We appreciate you, Josh.
We appreciate you. Thank
God,
you
I want you to
so
feel
much.
better. Does that shingles, is that curable?
Well, now they have a shingles vaccine.
It's a virus, right?
I believe it's the chickenpox virus, and it's like if you had chickenpox, then you can get shingles later or something.
I'm so sorry you're going through that.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better.
Boy.
That call, tell me, this is a JMO.
Mm-hmm.
That call had a quality about it that reminded me of those phone calls that we all used to have a long time ago where you're sitting on the phone for hours talking to someone late at night.
Does that even happen anymore?
I don't know. But I don't think they would have that quality because everyone's on iPhones now and those just have a different audio quality.
Just relax.
Yeah, just you're right there with them. Yeah. I feel like you and I have had maybe one phone call like that in our life.
We've had one phone call. Honestly. Even when we were seeing each other at the beginning, I think I called you once.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We've talked about that before.
You acted just horrified and frankly, you acted insulted that I had called you. You were annoyed and pissed that I had called you. I dared.
It wasn't that.
I honestly, when people call me,
get it?
When people call me now, it is what the fuck? What the fuck? Who, why are you calling me? Text me, email me.
You know what I find a little bit irksome is people who text to say, hey, can I ask you a question? They just send the question.
Oh, when they announce I have a question. I know but that's more of a
you know what? It's actually not, hey, I have a question. It's, hey, I just dealt with someone who would text, hi, how are you? I want to ask you something. It's well, go ahead and ask.
I think, well, who knows? I think people might do that because it feels too much to just throw a question at somebody. It's you need that sort of entryway.
I might do that too. But this was someone that I was scheduling appointments with.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like if it's someone that I'm dealing with, on Instagram or something who doesn't know me, that's different. But this is the question was just, could we do this day instead of this day? It's let's go ahead and send that.
Sure.
It's similar to how Elliot will say, Daddy.
And then wait to get my attention before saying.
And then he asks the question, which is taxing. But he's working on it because I reminded him this morning to just say mommy, da 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 da, because it's interesting. It's weird how it's very taxing is the only word I can feel okay using, lest he ever hear this. It's taxing to have someone constantly need you to look at them and say yes, and then they say something. It's double the work.
I'm more and more convinced that our son himself is a CIA op. He's an op put in our house to break me down psychologically.
It's possible. Listen, there's something I want to say.
Oh.
Josh, so expertly. You know how I was the queen of segues? But I'm not anymore because I don't have practice because there's nothing to segue to.
Right.
Josh is the king of segues.
Yeah, move over, Paul Blart.
The former king of segues?
He drove a Segway.
Okay.
Come on.
I haven't seen that. I haven't
It's on
seen
the
that
poster.
one.
By the way, someone tweeted this. I always think about this when I think of Paul Blart. I think it was maybe Dana Gould. It was like they missed the perfect opportunity with a sequel to call it Mall Cop Blart 2.
It's true.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, you may have noticed, I haven't been segueing a lot. You may have noticed there's a lack of ads. I've certainly noticed it because it's how this ad supports this ad. It's how this anyway, not a lot of ads coming in right now. It's real thin times. So this podcast has truly become a labor of love. Although no one's going to love this one because I talked about teeth for so long. But what I'm saying is, if you like this podcast, there's a way you can support it directly because I'm not getting support from ads right now. And I hope this turns around. Anyway, I rely on your direct support now via Patreon. So a lot of people have stepped up and signed up for Patreon. Thank you so much. And again, if you're not in a position to do it, I totally get it. It's rough out there right now. But if you are, do it. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen.
It helps.
Yeah, it helps so much. Thank you so much. Or also Substack, AlisonRosen.substack.com.
I told Alison if she can't get to a certain level, then I'm cutting her off. No more. She can't podcast anymore. She's got to go get a job, like a real job. So help her make her quota.
Speaking of, I haven't been posting I've been writing for Upworthy, and I haven't been posting links to all my Upworthy stuff. I don't know. I guess because it's like not very Alison Rosen voice-y. It's like Upworthy
Right, it's not
voice.
on brand.
It's not off-brand, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like if someone who likes to read the stuff that I write clicks on something, and then it's like there's not any of me in there, then you know it's fine. But I did recently. Last night I posted a link to one of them because I felt like it had some voice to it, and yeah, it was about foods that we ate 100 years ago that we're still eating today. But here's like some of the most popular foods we ate in 1924. But the really weird thing that I found was they all sound like 70s things.
Like what?
Like if I said to you, and this is kind of how the story starts, if I said to you deviled eggs, baked ham, chicken a la king, Jell-O, what era would you think I'm talking about? Just say 70s.
So, 70s.
That's right. But no.
I would think 60s actually, but yes.
Well, still. You're still way off.
Wait, they had Jell-O in the 20s?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
And they
I
used
feel like it was
in all
like
kinds
mint
of
Jell-O.
It was like used in aspics and in salads and in seafood. I mean, it was savory and it was sweet.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the 20s.
All right, I have a just mirror, everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
I hate when I have to enter a time or number in something, and it's usually just time, I guess, and there is a fucking slider. I hate the slider. I just want to be able to type in the time. And you see this on a calendar, for example, on the iCal or whatever it is on my phone. Like, I hate having to scroll around and find like 4 p.m. And then also on when I upload my podcast, it's also a slider there. So you have to like scroll or whatever.
I agree.
What's the benefit? Oh, and then also at any sort of like the Weight Watchers app from whenever I was doing that, you have to scroll to like enter the, the measurement or the whatever.
Right.
It's like, just let me type it in. What is the point of the scroll?
That's a good question. I
If
think
there's
sometimes
any UX people out there,
I think sometimes it's like that. There's a word for it where digital things that are made to look like real world things.
Yeah, I know. I forget the word too, but I know exactly what you mean. But
and some of it is that where it's just like, hey, look, it's like those old things where you just use your finger to find like on a clock or something. But those clocks where they have the flip.
I know exactly what you mean. But the thing about a paper calendar, you don't have to scroll. You just write the number.
Yeah, and the problem is, like, often when I'm doing a year for my birth year.
Oh yeah, I know.
And
because
it's like,
now we're like scrolling for 2 minutes.
Go, and then I'll start going real fast, and now I'm like in the 1930s, and now I got to scroll back. It's just like I could have just typed it in.
Right.
It's not hard.
Are they thinking that we forget, and so we need to get into the ballpark?
Well, I think on some of those it limits the choices. So it's like,
but if you type the wrong thing into a field,
no, it
it'll
prevents
tell you.
people from making typos. Like it keeps it in a
It's like a gate.
Yeah, like you can only choose these, so no one's gonna. You might put in the wrong year, but you're not going to type something that's just not usable.
Like fart.
Yeah, you're not going to put like a letter where a number should be or something. Or you won't accidentally put like born in 9,173. You know what I mean?
I see.
I think that a lot of times
that's probably what it is, because I'm realizing it, like in a calendar, if you put 4, then it like populates the 4 p.m. field.
That too.
So if you were to write some time that's not an actual time, then it would be confused. Okay, I guess I get it. But is there a workaround? Is there some program? Oh my God, both my eyes are really itchy right now. What can be done about it? Because I can't stand it.
Eye drops.
No, what can be done about the slider?
Nothing.
But it's unacceptable to me.
Well, you could. Okay, no, there is something you could do about it.
Use a paper calendar?
No. Start putting more effort into this podcast. Okay? Build it up.
Mm-hmm.
Usurp Joe Rogan.
Oh.
Take your hundreds of millions and parlay that into trillions or billions, and then buy Apple.
See? Now that's actionable.
That's what I'm saying. There is a path. It's just, do you have the
cojones? Gravitas.
Yeah.
Wherewithal.
The courage.
The grit.
The grit
I don't know if
to
I
do what needs to be done.
I don't know if I do. I'm now covering both eyes. There's the mic. And I found it with my lips. Okay. We have so many more calls. I think we are going to end with this riddle that I told you about.
Okay.
And I should tell you guys, on the next Thursday show, we played some of these calls, and we also got back into old school Just Mirror Everyone's that people send in.
So send them in.
And that's not where I was going with this, but yes, that too. But it was such a nice feeling to be back in the swing of doing listener submitted Just Mirror Everyone's. So I do want to get back into that. So you know what, at this point, when someone sends me a Just Mirror Everyone, I just screenshot it and I put it into a folder on my phone. So however you care to communicate with me, that's where you can submit your Just Mirror Everyone. I'm not going to limit it like I used to. I'm not going to put a scroll on it, if you will.
What's that?
I'm not going to put a scroll on it, if you will. Everything is blurry. Because it's when you push on your eyeballs, get a real case of blurry eyes.
I went to the DMV today.
Why are you waiting until the last minute for this gold?
Everyone talks about the DMV as being this, like, especially conservatives. They talk about, like, you want everything to be like the DMV. It wasn't that bad.
Tell me more.
Well, I just feel like we've all accepted this idea that the DMV is the worst experience. Oh, my God. And it's like, nah, it really wasn't. It was super efficient. I got everything done in a very short amount of time.
I went there and it was real fast for me too. Has the question for everyone, have DMVs gotten better, or have we just had good luck lately?
I think they've installed some things that have made it easier, like that you can get into virtual queues, you can make appointments. But like, Yeah, not that big a deal. So
I went to a Social Security office recently, and that was super speedy and fast too.
And you know what I do now?
What?
Maybe it's a post-COVID thing. When I'm at a place,
I want to guess. Give me like a category.
What I do now, post-COVID. That's the category. With regards to
use hand sanitizer.
When going to a place where I have to deal with people who are working at a place.
Oh, you like talk to them and you're super nice.
I address them like human beings.
What did you used to do? Grunt?
No, sometimes you just go up and you just do your business. I was never rude, but it's like you treat them like they're ATMs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like here's the thing, punch in the thing, you get the thing, and you go.
Yeah.
And
then you make a few jokes, right?
Sometimes, or I'll just like go. How are you doing? How's your day?
Oh, that's nice.
Now, often I get it. Like when you're working, you're like, oh, come on, dude. You don't care about my fucking day. So I don't ask it in a way.
Right. Like when a grocery person asks you if you found everything you were looking for.
Right. So I try not to ask it in a way where it's like, no, really tell me, but it's like, I keep it light, a little banter.
Sure.
And honestly,
just turn on the Riz.
Honestly, I'm not exaggerating. I make their fucking week. I make it. I see their eyes light up. I see color return to their face. One of the ladies, because I had to deal with her.
Too bad you can't hook them up to like an EKG while you're doing
After
this.
Speaking to me, I saw her glance down at a picture of her grandchildren. She was appreciating her own life again.
Oh my God. It's like It's a Wonderful Life.
And all I did was ask her how her day was, and all she said was, "It's Friday." But that simple exchange.
Did she really look at her grandchildren?
No.
But while you're like dazzling them with your genuine interest in them for once,
I saw them as human beings. I recognized they were a human on the other side of this counter.
You are an angel. Are you also outside of yourself, looking at yourself going like, look at me spreading sunshine?
Totally.
That's my problem.
Well,
with
it's not
every
also.
Kind of exchange.
It's not also. It's only.
Okay.
My consciousness is behind their head looking back at myself.
Right. Like I remember when we went to that Reynolds place in North Hollywood when you were into molding stuff and I had to buy
it's like casting supplies.
Yes. It's a real
it's awesome.
art store for nerds.
No, it's a place where people in the industry, special effects, props people go to get the materials to make props and special effects makeup.
Basically what I said.
Okay.
It's those in the know and in the know of nerdy things.
All right.
So this woman I was getting stuff for you. Why was I
Reynolds
doing that?
Advanced Materials is the name of the place. Look it up. It's fun.
RAM. I was checking stuff out, but it was for you.
Yeah, I think I was getting resin.
Oh, you know what?
Some silicone.
I was doing a podcast that was like across the street from that, and I said I'll pick your stuff up for you. It just seems like something I wouldn't do nowadays. I just don't know why.
You did a podcast across the street from that place?
Yeah, I did.
Who was out there?
Not across. I don't want to say across the street, but nearby. It was.
That's in Burbank, not North Hollywood. It's like North Burbank, like near the Empire Center.
Oh, well, the podcast that I did that was near there was Graham and Chris.
Oh, but they moved. It was probably their old location.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, that it was in North Hollywood. Yes. Okay. But that's way the fuck out there. They had a recording.
No, it was. It wasn't right there. They were in Studio City.
Oh, you were just close enough.
Yes, but why am I blanking on the name? Oh my God, this is terrible. Earbuds was their documentary. Graham Elwood and Chris Mancini. Oh my God. Well, anyway, that was the podcast I did. So, she had winged eyeliner, and anyone with winged eyeliner, the woman who was checking me out at the store, not checking me out, like looking at me, like ringing up your stuff. And anyone who has winged eyeliner spends time on it. I know, because I wear winged eyeliner. And so I was standing there and I was like, I'm going to make her fucking day. And I said, your eyeliner looks so perfect. What kind of eyeliner do you use? And I will compliment people's makeup
or
happened?
Eyeliner. Did she just...
Well, we're best friends now.
Did she melt?
Oh yeah. She melted. She told me what she used. and we fully fucking bonded. But I walked out of there like, see, Alison?
See how worth it was?
For her?
No, for you.
Because I felt good about spreading cheer?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Where are we? I cannot see. Oh, my goodness.
You were going to do
We got to wrap it up fast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Now it's like a 20 questions thing. So a man who's drenched walks into a restaurant and orders the albatross soup. He takes one bite and then goes outside.
Is that a thing, albatross soup, or is that something you make up for the riddle?
Well, it could also be albatross burger. It's just he orders the albatross.
Okay.
Happened to be a soup, but that's not important. Then you're already jumping the gun. Takes one bite, goes outside and shoots himself. What happened?
It wasn't good.
No.
It was so disgusting.
Nope.
He wanted to die.
Nope. So you could ask a bunch of yes/no questions. I'll let this go on
What is
for
albatross?
It's a giant bird.
Is that the thing that goes around your neck?
I don't know.
Like you have an albatross around your neck?
Yes.
So is it a bird around your neck?
Yeah.
I thought an albatross was, I always thought it was like probably some sort of like collar.
No, it's a giant bird.
Why would you have an albatross around your
I
neck?
don't really know. Like, why are you carrying an albatross? This is not germane to the riddle.
Is it important that it was albatross? Is it germane?
Not.
Like, could it have been tuna? Would it have changed anything if it was
It
tuna?
could have been another rare animal. Now I feel like I'm misleading you.
It could have been. So it could have been.
It's not germane in the way you're thinking it is. So I guess the answer is no.
So it wouldn't have changed anything if it was like
Horse. Let's say it was horse. It could have been horse. Yeah.
Okay. So he came in. He was drenched. He was all wet.
Mm-hmm.
Was it water that he was wet with?
Yes.
Can you be wet with something other than water?
Sure. What with cat piss?
Okay. All right. So these are yes/no questions.
Yes.
Is the universe made up of mostly dark matter, or is the universe...
Would you like to know the answer?
No, sorry. Is the expansion of the universe due to other universes, like bubbles, puncturing and expanding our own? Like, in other words, is it matter that's spreading the universe?
Yes.
Okay. This is my opportunity to get yes/no questions answered. Is Donald Trump going to win?
No.
Is global warming going to destroy the planet?
Cannot tell you now. I'll be Magic 8 Ball.
Oh, wait.
I'll be Magic. I'm a Magic 8
Okay, so
Ball
anyway,
now.
all right. So back to the... Okay, so he's wet with water. He comes in. He orders a rare animal sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Kebab.
And then he leaves and kills himself.
Takes one bite and then kills himself.
Takes one bite.
Uh-huh.
Now, if it was soup, would he take one bite or would he slurp it?
He took one slurp, yeah. But enough to taste the albatross. He tasted, it was the taste of the albatross.
Is the
important.
answer a joke?
No. It's also something you might never guess. That's what the people were upset about.
Is it a convoluted answer?
Well, like, yes. How do you mean?
Like, not...
It's not it might not be figure outable without you asking questions.
Does he work for some sort of activist group?
No.
Does he like animals?
Unclear.
Did he have a dog growing up?
I don't know.
Is his mother still alive?
I don't know.
Did he have a close relationship with his father?
I'm unsure.
Is his brother in jail?
Why is he wet? I would think is sort of.
Okay. Why is he wet?
I don't know. Do you know? Why would someone be wet?
You do know.
Oh,
do
I know.
you know why he's wet?
I do, yeah.
Is he wet because there was an elephant who slobbered on him?
Nope, it's water.
Well, the slaughter has water in it. You told me it's water already.
Would you like me to just tell you?
Is he near the ocean?
It's ocean water, yeah.
Was it a wave that hit him?
No. Maybe, but I don't know.
Is he cold?
Probably.
Are they in Alaska?
Maybe.
Is this the famed Alaska?
No.
Okay. I don't know, honey. This is.
Would you like to know the answer?
Do I?
No. Okay. So here's the story. Look, I didn't invent this. I saw this online last night. Okay. So a man and two other men and a boy, that's how the story goes, there was a shipwreck. I forget their relationship to each other. It doesn't matter. The point is there's some men and a boy. This is dark, by the way. And they are starving. They get in a shipwreck and they're starving to death. And somehow, there's also an albatross there, and they manage to kill the albatross. And they realize this is not enough meat for all of us. So, long story short, they also kill the boy, and they cut all the meat. They prepare it, cut it all up, and the guy is like,
They cut up the boy?
Yeah, they've killed him to eat him.
Jesus,
they're gonna eat the albatross and the boy. And they mix it all up. They're desperate. They're dying.
Oh, I
They're
see.
dying.
He realized he ate the boy.
Yes.
Oh, I would. That was my next guess. You should have let me ask questions. Because I was going to say, did he take the bite, go out and kill himself because he thought he had eaten a child?
Well, he knew he had.
He knew at that moment that he had just eaten a child.
Yeah, because now that he's tasted the albatross, he knows that was not albatross that he ate on that island.
So this isn't a good riddle.
I know.
Because I feel like the riddle should be like the pieces should all be there. You shouldn't have to go so far afield to get the. Because I could probably write another set of circumstances that.
Yeah. You know the one where it's like, man walks into a house. There's broken glass, water, and a dead body. What happened?
Right.
And you know that one, right?
I've heard it.
Do you know what the answer is?
No.
A fishbowl was knocked over.
Yeah, but that's better because you could kind of figure it out.
Well, don't blame me. Blame TikTok.
Well, no, but you brought it here into our lives. You presented it. It's as though you wrote it.
But I presented it in a way like this might be terrible. You know,
well, I could write something shitty and say this might be terrible. It doesn't let me off the hook.
It doesn't left you off the hook.
No,
it doesn't left you off the hook.
It doesn't write me off the hook either.
Okay. Well, you're right. Thank you for bringing. You know what one I like? The twins and the Doors. One twin always tells the truth.
Yeah, because that's a riddle.
Yeah,
that's like a logic thing that you got to figure out.
Oh, and there's also one about like 3 light bulbs or something, and light switches, and you're trying to figure out which light switch goes to which bulb, and you can like only turn it open and close the switches a number of times, but like how do you figure it out? That you're right. This one sucked. I'd like to apologize to all of America and the world at large.
Something I don't know. There's something sort of like okay.
Well, now you know what an albatross is.
Do I?
Well, not really, but you know that it's a bird and not
I know
a jewelry.
it's a bird, and you don't want one around your neck.
You don't.
Sometimes they go around people's necks.
I think
is that a thing?
We're gonna look up some facts about albatrosses.
Like, was that enough of a thing where it became a saying?
Right.
Like,
were there enough people carrying albatrosses around their necks?
Right.
God, we really don't have time, but I will. I'm just gonna look it up real fast because I can't not
like
know.
Maybe albatross salespeople who have to like carry their albatrosses around with them in the market. You know, that's a real albatross around.
If you describe something or someone as an albatross around your neck, you mean that they cause you great problems from which you cannot escape, or they prevent you from doing what you want to do. You know, I feel like this might have like a Greek meaning. Albatrosses have long been a symbol of mystery and fortune in literature and culture. Ancient tales suggest that their presence brings luck to seafarers. Well, now you're just sending mixed messages. Why is albatross so special? You know what? We're going to have to... What is the myth about albatross? Early European sailors believed that an albatross should not be killed for it housed the restless souls of drowned sailors and it would bring bad weather. Superstition is not to be found. Before Coleridge's infamous Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I think it goes back to that. So I think maybe if you have one around your neck, that means bad luck.
Did you know?
Because in ye olden times, if you kill a bird, you sling it around your neck.
Did you know that the Odyssey was for a long time not written down? It was a story that people would memorize, and they would have events where people would recite the entire Odyssey.
Okay, here we go. It has been thought of as bad luck from an old poem where a man shoots one down and is forced to wear it around his neck by his shipmates for ruining their good fortune.
Got it.
Now we know. Listen, this has been delightful. Apologies again for my general countenance. I don't know if that's the right word, and I won't look it up on air.
That should be like the description of your podcast.
Apologies for my general countenance.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
It is so
that's good. Someone write that down and then email it to me. Okay. Allison's links. Just picture me with a bunch of sausages around my neck. Allison'sLinks.com is where you get to everything. Please support me. Daniel, anything?
Support her.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show?